Hey folks, welcome back to Ashmore Arboretum. Today on the homestead, we're going to be talking about our drip irrigation system. Now, what this drip irrigation system is, this is something of my own design, and we have set it up to where it's a pretty well set it and forget it type system. Let me show you what I'm talking about and how we set it up. What we have here, we'll start from the very beginning. We have a hose timer, a faucet timer. This is a 1-zone timer. This is a 4-zone timer. This year we're going to be doing the 4-zone timer because we have 4 raised beds, and each bed is going to be on its own zone. This is what we used last year. This worked real well for us, and I just daisy chained the beds together and they all got the same amount of water. That worked okay, but I think it could be better. That's why we're going to go with the 4-zone timer this year. And each bed is going to be on its own zone, meaning I can control the amount of water that each bed gets, which is what you want, because tomatoes don't need as much, or I'm sorry, tomatoes need more water than onions. And last year they were all getting the same amount of water. So what you need is you need one of these hose timers, these faucet timers. You need a 25 psi backflow protector. That is imperative when you're hooking this up to your system. You need some 1/2-inch connectors. Okay, we have T's. We have some straight ones in here. Of course, I can't find one. There's a straight one. I have elbows back here. These are the elbows. And then you're going to need your 1/4-inch drip line. Okay, this is rain drip line. And how this works is there is an emitter every 6 inches. So there's an emitter. You come up here another 6 inches. There's the next emitter, and so on and so forth. I got several hundred feet of rolls in here. I got about almost 400 feet worth of drip line right there. And then you're going to need your 1/4-inch connectors. I just have these in a simple, plastic case so I can keep them straight and know what I've got and what I need more of at the end of the year. You're going to need a simple 1/4-inch tool, and you see how that works. That pokes a hole in the 1/2-inch drip line. I'll show you that 1/2-inch line in just a moment and how this works. This is some 1/4-inch supply line, and that's for jumping from the like the mineral buckets to each mineral bucket, so that way I don't have to put in more of this 1/2-inch supply line. And then you got your 1/2-inch supply line. This was a 500-foot roll of 1/2-inch supply line. I have since used about half of it for my needs, and I'm getting ready to actually hook up all of my wife's flower beds on the drip tube. That way all of her afternoon watering will be set it and forget it. So let me show you how this is all set up over here at the faucet, then we'll work our way back to the beds. Walking up to the faucet, now you can see the trench where I've got these dug in. But walking up here to the faucet, we have our splitter. We have a timer. This is the timer we used last year. And like I said, I'm going to change it to a 4-way system, so it'll just have 4 outlets on the bottom, and each one of those will be on its own separate zone to where I can control it, the amount of water that each zone gets. This right here is the 25 psi backflow protector, and then the 1/2-inch supply tube. This takes the water from the faucet to the raised bed. And we're going to walk up here to the first raised bed right there, and I just brought it up and have it tied to the inside of the raised bed with a pipe clamp, and I have the end fitting right there, and that's how I shut off the water at the end. And this bed is getting ready to get filled up with our compost mixture, and then we'll run drip line. But over here, this is the first bed I built 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And I'll show you how this is set up. So we have the 1/4-inch strip, the 1/2-inch strip line. running underground up here. We have one of the 1/2-inch elbow, and the 1/2-inch line runs across the bed. We have that tool I showed you earlier. I took that tool and I punched a hole in the 1/2-inch line, and that hole is the right size for a 1/4-inch fitting. I put a 1/4-inch elbow into this 1/2-inch line, and then I put the 1/4-inch drip tube on that fitting, and we ran it the full length of our bed. Now these 2 lines put off enough water for our tomatoes. This is what we use. This bed is the only bed we use our tomatoes, we put our tomatoes in, and those 2 lines is all I need for our tomatoes. You have to know the amount of water that each one of your plants needs. They require different amounts of water, and sometimes at different times of day. Your onions, of course, do not need near as much water as your tomatoes. So that's part of the reason we're going with the 4-zone system. So each one of the 4 of the 5 beds will be on its own zone. I'm going to jump from one of these beds out to our corn bed, so they'll all be on drip tube, and at 4:30ish in the afternoon these will kick on and it'll start the drip system. Like for the tomatoes, it'll go for approximately 30 to 35 minutes, and then it'll shut itself off and wait till the next day. So that's what we're doing today on the homestead. I appreciate you guys being with us and watching. If this is your first time on the Ashmore Arboretum channel, please like and subscribe and share. And I try to produce new content every week. And until next time, thanks for watching, and God bless.